My name is Sandra Uni. I'm the Executive Director for the United Way of the Brown County area, and welcome to Living United. I have a special guest, and I say it's special every time she's with me because she always has such cool stuff with her, and her programming is always so amazing. So Carrie Barron is here with Pro Kinship, and first of all, what is Pro Kinship for someone out there who may not know what Pro Kinship is all about?
Pro Kinship for Kids is really about building relationships with kids. That's really what we're about, and we do that in a variety of ways. We do community mentoring, so we match kids with adult volunteer mentors to be that support person for them. You know, if you're the single mom with 3 kids and you have been working maybe 2 part-time jobs, you know, at times the kids say, I just need somebody to talk to. I had a really bad day at school, and mom's just so busy, and I really just need somebody to talk to. Well, that's where their mentors come in.
Yep. Connections, relationships, right?
Relationships, yep. So that relationship, they go ahead and we tell them, well, on those days, call your mentor. And the mentors are there to listen, and that's basically what you're doing, listening to the kid. So when you're talking about mentoring, it's really about being that listening ear, building that relationship with the kids so that they have somebody they can trust, rely on, and that to be that extra person in their life when things aren't going so great, or they're just a little frustrated with what's going on, or I did really bad on my test today at school, and I'm not so sure that was gonna be good. And so they need somebody they can talk to about it, and that's that community mentor.
And that's great. Now, in community mentors, it doesn't mean that there's a financial commitment. It's an emotional connection with kids.
Yeah, it's an emotional time connection. You know, one of those best gifts we can give to kid is just our time. And so it's that emotional and that time commitment to be that person that can say, hey, I'll just listen to you, or you know what, I hear you're having, and that things didn't go well today. Why don't we just go out and maybe we go for a walk, and we'll chit chat about it. I have one set of mentor-mentee pairs that they both love animals, so their mentor-mentee time that they give is they go down and they walk dogs for the Humane Society here in town.
Wow.
Because while they're walking puppies, they can talk.
They can talk.
They can talk. And so they have a fun time doing that, and it's what they do. You know, we ask for mentors to give a minimum of 4 hours a month. They do an hour every week walking dogs. So
that's amazing, and that's a win-win. Because it's connecting with the kids, the mentor, and the child, the student, and the animals down at the Humane Society. I know those dogs, they're always looking for dog walkers down there. And so it's a win-win.
Oh, it is. And they just love their time walking the dogs and talking to the dogs and talking to each other. And so, yeah, it's just a fun time. So no, it's not a financial commitment you have to make. It's your time commitment. It's being there for a kid.
And I personally think sometimes the time is the priceless.
Oh, it is.
You can't put a dollar figure on that time and the relationship that you have with kids.
Oh, no. That's a priceless thing, and I have mentors that argue about who gets the most out of their mentor-mentor relationship, because I get the most because I get to spend time with the kid, and we did this, and we talked about this and that, and the kid's going, no, they're giving me all this time, they're giving that, they're doing this, we're doing that. So they argue about who makes the best out of it, and so it really is. It's that lifelong connection, it's that engagement, it's that piece of giving back.
Now you say lifelong connection, which is nice because as the kids mature, as they graduate from high school, as they go on in life, about how many do you think stay in contact?
Almost all of them.
Really?
Oh yeah, our mentors in that usually are with their kids in that when we start them in that 3-4 years, and then maybe they slow down a little bit because they get up to high school age. But I still have the mentors coming back to me in the community now who had kids 20 years ago with us saying, I just got this note from my mentee, and this is going on in their life. And so, and I've got those that tell me at Christmas time, you know, we're coming up towards the holidays, I got the Christmas card with pictures of their babies and that because they got married, and so, you know, it really becomes kind of a lifetime piece. It doesn't have to, but for a lot of people it does, because
there like a preferred age? I mean, what are the ages of the kids typically that need a mentor?
And that we generally do kids kindergarten through ninth grade.
Okay.
In terms of setting up a match and starting a match. And the reason that is because those are the kids that want that match. By the time you get to those 10th, 11th, and 12th graders, they're like, do I really want this person?
Might not be as cool.
It's not as cool, and it's, do I really want this person? I really don't know, and that. Not that I haven't done some, because the kid talks to me and says, yeah, I really want this, and then, okay,
We'll find it.
We'll find it, we'll try something. But most of the kids are kindergarten through ninth graders.
That's
that we
exciting.
stayed.
And how many kids do you serve right now? I know you have programs. I get your stuff every month, and I always look through it. So you do programming in New Ulm, in Springfield, and Sleepy Eye.
Yep.
So about how many kids in the big picture does that encompass?
60 kids probably
Wow. Every week.
and that within our months and that, yep. Because we do our group activities too, and those are twice a month in every one of the towns. So some of the kids don't have community mentors like we've been talking about. They're just part of group activities. And really those kids are kids that are more the shy kid. They're referred a lot by the school system because they might be the kid that's kind of bullied. They're the kid that if the table is full of kids, they'll be the one over on that table over there instead by themselves. Those are the kids that come into group activities to build self-confidence, to build their self-esteem, to learn about being part of the team and making friends. That's that life skills that we kind of work on in group activities. And so they may not be the ones that have a community mentor, they're in group mentoring with us.
Neat. Now, you mentioned the time. We've talked about the what you put into it as far as effort. How about a perfect age for a mentor? Is there
A lot of times the perfect kids in that starting a mentor relationship are kind of those first, second, third graders.
Okay.
And those kind of little younger kids, not necessarily always the kindergartner, because they need a little more self-confidence in themselves that I can leave mom, dad, and go with other.
But what about the mentors? Is there an average age for your mentors?
Our mentors, early retirement.
That's awesome.
Early retirement age. Or we have those that, when they empty nest, give them a year or two and say, I just have this, I want to go and do kid things. And so can I have a mentee to go and do these things with? Because I still want to go to, the one lady told me, I want to go and see the kid movies, the Disney movies and I don't want to go to the movie theater by myself when I'm an adult and watch the Disney movie. So I feel better when I have a kid with me. So that's kind of that piece too. So I said, it's in that. So we have that piece too, the group mentoring for some kids, and that's where we get to that 60 kids in the county. We also do academic mentoring, and that is really focused on not just your relationship with the kid, but actually focusing on the school work that they need to do. So a lot of those kids are coming with not doing well in classrooms. So a lot of those kids are being mentored by the National Honor Society students.
Really?
So that's where we get a lot of those mentors.
That's fabulous because they need to put in their hours for National Honor Society. Again, another win-win.
It is. It's another win-win. Plus, you can use me then later as a reference. And that is they're applying for different things. So the National Honor Society students and paraprofessionals are usually our academic mentors because we are on that. But if you were a community mentor and wanted to do academic mentoring, I could match that up too. But that's what we're kind of doing. We usually use paraprofessionals within the school system, and our biggest amount of kids for that are National Honor Society students.
That is so exciting. So shout out to those National Honor Society kids.
Yep.
That's great.
And they're given those elementary kids, because our academic mentoring really goes from kindergarten through 8th grade. And so they're matched up with those younger kids. So this is also a win-win because these kids are seeing these older kids and getting this relationship. And so when they're in class and in the school and they say see so-and-so or so-and-so, it's like, I know who that is, and they can wave at
Isn't
each
that
other.
fun?
And they have so much fun with that.
When I was in college, I had a mentor, little gal, and that was with the Y when I was up in Duluth, and loved it. I mean, we just had a great thing. I would get invited to her school concerts and all kinds of things, and it was a great relationship, and we hung together there for 3 years together, and then I moved, and we had to disrupt that match, but it is really an amazing program. And it's, I think as a volunteer, I got maybe more out of it even than the kids did.
Well, that's what I said. We have that argument between the mentors and the mentees. Who's getting the most out of this?
That's awesome.
But
Now,
it's a
so
fun time.
what if a mom calls you and says, "Hey, I'm a single mom. My kid is really struggling in algebra, and I hear you have some kind of academic tutoring, something or other going. Can you help me?" And your answer would be?
We tell them to talk to their school counselors, because all of those academic mentoring pieces come through the school.
Okay.
So that
Good to know.
referral, if they call me, I will tell them to talk back to their school teacher, their classroom teacher. That person talks to the school counselor, and then it comes through to us, because we want to make sure that everybody's on the page then, because if we're going to do academic mentoring, we need that relationship to be very firm within the school system and with the teacher, because that's where they're needing the direction to the academic mentor.
Right.
Is through that piece. And for some of our kids, it's just organizational skills, and that they're needing work with. Because how do I do my homework if I don't know what I'm supposed to do?
Or if I can't find it.
Or if I can't find it?
Yeah, that's a big problem.
Yeah. So some of them are just doing that piece, needing that help. And once they've gotten used to that, they can not need us the next year after they've gone through that 1 year of, because their academic mentors helping them learn those organizational skills and how do I get organized?
And it's a maturity thing too. I mean,
Absolutely.
and you don't know what you don't know until you get involved in it. So
Right.
That is so awesome. Great. So that's two of your pieces. Now your third piece that you do, I know a lot of, is with activities. I call them your field trips and your little experiences and things.
Yep.
Tell us some more about those.
That's part of group mentoring and can be our community mentor kids can go along with, and we do educational field trips. And we have a lot of fun with the kids. We bus to different places and see different things. This last summer, we did Stillwater. And so we were there all day long learning about the history of Stillwater, that Stillwater is the birthplace to Minnesota. We learned about lumber. We learned about all of the history of the water and why it was the lumber mill capital there. And I had a friend of mine who lives in Stillwater, who has lived there for about 40 years and wasn't a teacher and is now retired. And she got on our bus and did a personalized narrated tour of all of this stuff. So she gave us all the insight.
Wow, you had your own tour guide.
We had our own personal tour guide.
That's amazing.
And the kids also had fun. We ran, well, I should say, they ran across the lift bridge. I walked, they ran.
Yeah.
And they asked me if they could run, and I said, as long as I can see you, I don't care. So they ran back and forth, and I made it to Wisconsin, and I walked back from Wisconsin. They did it several times.
So about how many kids participate on an average through those kinds of activities?
15 to 20 kids on a field trip usually. Depends on the trip, because we set the dates with what goes on, and then so-and-so's at camp, so-and-so's on family vacation in the summers, and that's, so usually about 15 to 20 kids are
That's
on
amazing.
those. So yeah, it's a lot of fun with that. We also went to Hemmecker Zoo this year with the kids on one of the field trips. We learned about all the animals and lots of facts about the animals, because we had the owner of Hemmecker Zoo do a tram ride for us, and she told us all about the animals and how they got the animals to Minnesota, because their newest exhibit is flamingos.
Flamingos,
Flamingos.
Not native to Minnesota.
Not native to Minnesota, and they now have a flamingo in that enclosure, and they have flamingos. And she told us, you realize flamingos are not pink, they are white. The only reason they get pink feathers is because of what they eat. They are not pink, born that way. They are born white.
Really?
Yep.
I love when I learn something new at my age. This is great.
So she told us all about, it's the shrimp and the crayfish and that they eat that gives them the pink color.
That is so neat. I did not know that. I'm a chicken lady, and I thought I knew a lot, but boy, that's new information. I love it.
So she said, we learned all about animals. They are getting big cats coming too, so they were building these structures for the tigers and the lions.
Now, where
and-
is this zoo, for if anyone's wondering?
Freeport, Minnesota.
Okay, and that's about how far from here?
About 2 hours.
Okay.
Up on 94, right off I-94 at Freeport's exit, out in the middle of the cornfields. Yes, you drive through the little town and you go out, and first time I went, there's really a zoo here?
We're really going in
We're
the right
really
direction.
going to find a zoo, and yep, you turn on the county road and there you get to a zoo.
Wow, and is that a free zoo or is it a minimal?
It's an entrance fee. It's an entrance fee, and that to the zoo, because that's the way they get the money to feed all the animals,
Yeah, they can take care of them.
because they have to take care of them. So they are they have a fee for that, and then you can do actual feeding experiences with the animals for extra fees. So you can actually hand feed a giraffe.
Oh, see, I would be into that. That would be
I
so
did.
fun.
And then you hand feed otters, and you can feed koi fish. You can have sticks with the birds pecking on them and sitting all over your head and your feet and everything. So you can do that.
What a fun experience, though, for kids. To
And
be
then-
a part of that.
And then you can also feed a rhinoceros.
Yeah, I'll pass on that one.
I fed the rhinoceros.
Did you?
I did.
They're huge. They're
They are.
dangerous.
They have a baby, the rhinoceros that I fed was still a baby. He was only 800 pounds.
Is that all?
He was just 800, but he's
Oh.
still a baby.
Oh my gosh, that is so fun.
So, like I
So
said, we have
fun.
lots of fun with the kids doing the trips.
That's amazing. Now, talking about fun, you have some little critters with you today, which I've never seen before. So tell us, how did you get them? How do people get them? They are just the most stinking cute little buggers. They're just so cute.
Our critters came as a donation from Koozie Group in Sleepy Eye, and we asked them to give us, and that if we could get something that Kip, our mascot, Kip the Kinship bear, could give away to kids. And so we were looking for bears, and they came back offering us this lineup of 5 different critters for us to give away. And they have little t-shirts on them, and we got them all ironed with Kinship. And so we have our unicorn, we have our bulldog, we have a monkey, rainbow lion he's called, because he's got his
pretty.
rainbow hair, and an armadillo.
Oh my gosh, but they're so cute.
They're
and
very
I don't know
adorable.
if you can't see, but it's got Kinship right on the top of their little t-shirts, and they are so cute.
So
So what if I want to get a set of these? Because I have, my grandbabies are very special to me. So how can I
to
get
get
sets?
to get a whole set of the all 5 we have, just make a donation to Pro Kinship for Kids, and you can get a set of 5.
Okay, is there a dollar amount set, or is it
It's
just follow your heart?
It's a follow your heart. Whatever you would want to do, you can get the whole set. And we're using them with Kip. He gives one and that to kids when he's out and about. So then kids are getting like one of them. But if you really want the whole set, we just say give us a donation, and that's up to you what you'd want to donate, and you can get all 5
That's
of them.
so cool. And what a good time of the year for something like this.
Good stocking stuffers.
Oh, that's what I was just going to say. They're perfect size to just pop into a little stocking. So if I wanted to get a hold of you, I know how to get a hold of you, but from anyone who's watching, how can they get in touch with you and say, I need some of those cute little stuffies?
All they have to do is give us a phone call at 507-359-2445, and you can tell me you're calling me because you want the little critters, and we'll find a time for you to come visit me at the office, and you can get that from us. So just a
How
phone call away.
Fun. How fun. Yeah, well, definitely. And with your programming, you're a 501c3, you're not for profit, you basically meet expenses. from money.
Exactly.
You don't walk away with any
Nope.
money. So anything that you donate, and if you were to send a check for, and get the set of stuffies, that's money that goes directly into your programming.
Right.
Because Koozie is amazing. Koozie, I know they partner with us with the backpack program, and they've just been awesome.
Yep. This
So-
would be 100% right into doing the things that we've been talking about with kids.
Yeah, and a lot of times people want to know exactly where their money goes. And so this way they can have a little bit of voice, they can choose as well.
Yep.
I love it. Now, okay, I have a brand new grandbaby.
I do.
And so little baby things are always kind of jumping out to me. This is one of the cutest little what would we call this? Is this a
Snowsuit.
snowsuit for an itty bitty one?
It's
So
the newborn one.
it's the newborn. Oh my gosh, it's so soft. It's so sweet. So tell me, you have your Coats for Kids program, which is top notch, highly utilized. Tell us about what is your Coats for Kid program? How do you find out about it? If you need something, how does that all go?
Coats for Kids is we get new coats, snow pants for kids in the county that need them, and that would be any kid from the newborn, which I brought the newborn, all the way to the 18-year-old. And so we go from this size of a newborn all the way up to, I get already delivered to county so they could give to a family, a 4XL for an 18-year-old.
Well, they still need to be
Because
warm.
they still need to be warm, and think about our football players out there. They're not all the smallest guys out there.
They're
so
big. They're big
so-
guys for a
so,
reason.
so from this little one to the 4XL, we serve all the kids in between. And how you do it, county has a referral form for Pro Kinship for Kids to get on the Coats for Kids list. Or you can just give me a call too if you really are in that, and talk to me directly, and we'll talk about what your needs for youth getting coats and snow pants. We can do that directly. Otherwise, county is where most of the referrals come through. And right now, Sandra, can you guess where we're at?
Okay, guess. I'm going to guess you're at 250.
We're higher than that.
Stop it.
Since
Oh my gosh.
Since the end of September to currently today, we are at 291 kids from 115 families in the county.
Oh my heavens.
Coats for Kids has been around for 34 years. We're in year 34. Our highest year for serving kids was last year at 300 kids. All I have is 9 to go, and we don't have a lot of snow out there, and I will
Oh,
beat our
yes.
all-time.
Winter's just getting a good start.
I'll beat our all-time high. Our all-time high was 300 kids served, and that was in 2020.
It's a good feeling, isn't it? I get the same way with our backpack program. You know, I want to see that number go up. I want to get more and more kids to get us the service that we have. So, okay, so you have a child. They want to, again, they could call you.
They can call me at 507-359-2445 to get a hold of me to get on that and that to tell me what their need is. Or they can go to Brown County Family Services and ask for the referral forms for Coats for Kids.
What's really neat about this program is the fact that you guys purchase new stuff. It's not like hand-me-downs. It's
No.
not, I mean, I was the youngest of 4. So I was a hand-me-down princess is what it was. And so when you go shopping, you literally shop for kids for a certain size to meet that.
Absolutely. When the program was started by the New Ulm Kiwanis Club, it was decided at that point that they wanted to purchase new coats for these kids because it may be the only new thing for a kid that they're getting all year because they're the kid that's the 4th one in the family and is always getting the hand-me-downs. So Coats for Kids was not going to do that. If you needed warm clothes for your children, they were going to get new stuff so they could have at least this piece new during the year.
And we're talking typically, from what I understand, what I've heard from other people too, it's a jacket with snow pants, hats, mittens, scarves. If they express that they need it, they get it.
They're getting the hats and mittens and scarves if they request them. And actually, I have now brand new donated knitted items from a charity knitting event. So I have a tote of new knitted items from a group of knitters.
How cool. And that was one of my next questions is, what if I'm a good knitter or I crochet or I have, a gift in that area and I'm always, looking for places to give my stuff. They can contact you and donate?
They can contact us and donate. The St. Peter Yarn Shop did a Knit for Charity Day, and we were one of the charities they knitted for, so I have a whole big tote of hats and scarves and other items that were knitted
it.
that I'm tucking in with the coats and the snow pants, even if they're not even requested now. The coats and that get something else, usually is a little surprise in their bags.
That is so cool.
But yeah, they're always new coats, they're always new snow pants, and that We don't do any even gently used stuff. We do all new.
That's neat. That is really neat. And I know I've sent some people your way this year because my phone will ring, and then part of what we do is we connect people to resources. So I know this call came in and they said, my child needs a new coat. And I said, I know exactly the person you need to call, and sent them your direction. So
Yep, and we took care of that need by all means.
Neat.
So yeah, I'm at 291. So as soon as I get the next 10 coat request, I'll be over the top that's ever been in the program. So yeah, it's kind of in that it's a need, it's a fun piece to do for us. And part of our benefit this year that we can serve as many kids as we do because funds are getting low. But when I started this fall, I had 4 coat racks full of coats in my upstairs, because when coats went on clearance, I had a donor who decided to go out and buy me all kinds of coats.
What a great way, though.
And they all went up in my upstairs, and I had 4 coat racks that I started with that were jam-packed full of coats. So they were brand new ones from last year's clearance, and they've been being utilized along with going out and purchasing, and
I love it.
then we also had a really nice donor towards the end of last year, Americold here in New Ulm. They went out and bought us all whole cases of coats. So we had lots of coats when I started this fall.
That is a great place to start.
So we had a great start out, and then we were able to go from there, and we're still going.
And I have a feeling that the weather's still, we're still just starting in our winter season here. So a lot of people really like to know exactly where, when they give, it just feels really good to know exactly what good you're doing. So can they send you a check and it says Coats for Kids on it?
Absolutely. You can send us a check that says Coats for Kids. It'll go right into that special fund we have. I have absolutely, Sandra, had people call me this year and say, hey, if I want to make a cash donation, how do I send it to you? And I tell them, just get that. You can put your money in your envelope and put it to P.O. Box 666, New Ulm, Minnesota, and tell me you want it for Coats for Kids. It'll go right into that account, and we'll put it towards buying from this size to the 4XLs.
Wow. Now, I do have a question. It came up to me the other day, and I couldn't answer it, so I'm going to ask you today, and then I'll know. Do you guys have Venmo? Because, for instance, I know you do your online auctions and things to help raise funds. Do you guys offer Venmo or any other method, or would you prefer cash or check?
We would prefer cash or check, but we also do have a NetGiver account through South Point Federal Credit Union. So if you want to go on to South Point's site and click on their Give to under NetGiver, you will find Pro Kinship for Kids. And when you go through their app to do an online donation, 100% of the money goes to the nonprofit, so it would come to us, because South Point takes care of all the fees. So you can.
And that's huge.
And so that's huge. So if you want to do a cash one, you can go through South Point Federal Credit Union, and you don't have to be a member of South Point. All you have to do is go on their website and click their NetGiver button, and then you can donate to a nonprofit, and 100% will come to us.
That's fabulous.
So that's another way you can get to us.
Now, on another note, I saw in the paper, I couldn't be there that night, 100 Women Who Care.
Yep.
Tell us, what went through your head when you had the opportunity? And let's explain it.
100 Women Who Care is a group of women in the area who are very philanthropic and want to do good for nonprofits, and so they become members of 100 Women Who Care, and then you can go to the meeting and you nominate people, nonprofits that you want to, into a basket, and then they pick 3 of those nonprofits to get told about a little presentation at the meeting, and then everyone that gets to vote for the one nonprofit they want to get the money, because what they're pledging is $100 to the nonprofit that's chosen.
So when you do the math, you have usually about at least 100 women there, and each person writes a check for $100, and it's going all directly to a not-for-profit.
Right.
Oh my gosh, that's huge.
It's very huge in that it is such a blessing and such a joy in that. And we were there because they also allow nonprofits to do little booths around the outside of the meeting so that when that people that are there can come and chat with you about your nonprofit and what's going on and how they might help you out or volunteer and that. So they will come around. We were there doing a booth, and I've been there for quite a few of their meetings doing a booth. This time we got chosen to go up in front. And
So was this the first time your name was drawn?
This is the first time we were drawn. This is the first time we got to go up. So I went up and presented about Pro Kinship for Kids. You get 10 minutes, and they actually time it. And then they give you like 10 minutes for questions and answers, and then you sit down and then all three present, and then they vote. And we won the vote, and we got to be the nonprofit selected this time to get the money.
That was so exciting. When I saw it in the paper, I went, yeah, I got all excited for you.
Oh, it still blows my mind that we got selected. It's such an honor and a privilege for us. And we're going to use the money to do life skills with kids. That's part of what we've planned to do with this with that extra money is we'll put it towards what we've been working on, teaching kids life skills. So we're going to teach them about some time management. We're going to teach some stress management for them. We're going to teach about finances. We're going to continue doing some stuff on self-esteem and self-confidence with kids. We're going to work on team building. So we're going to teach life skills to our kids.
That is
when they're doing
so
these
important.
group events, they're going to learn that. We're going to be working on life skills. Yes, we'll still have the crafts and do that because that's how after we've talked a little bit about being self-confident and that we do, and that, or for a lot of our kids, they need something to do while we talk to them a little bit. So we give them the paintbrushes and they can start painting something, and then we talk about some of these life skills with them.
Well, I was so excited for you guys.
It was exciting.
When I saw it in the paper, I went, yay! That's so exciting. Now, a lot of people may not understand that part of the reason you and I have a connection is because you are one of United Way's partner agencies.
Correct.
And we currently, United Way, have 22 not-for-profit agencies across Brown County that we give funds to. And one of the things that I had to warn my partner agencies is that, giving is down, but the need is up. And so I'm also, as a part of this, going to put in a plug because I want to be able to write bigger checks to Pro Kinship for Kids and all the other groups. And a big part of that is the success of our campaign.
Exactly.
So, and right now we are in our 2024 campaign, and we're looking for opportunities to partner with people, and we're looking for sponsors to maybe they don't want to write a check, but I will sponsor one child for Imagination Library or one of our other programs. And so it really is a partnership that you develop with the partner agencies in the United Way. So I love this because I've been doing this with you now for 3 years?
Yep.
And I learn something new from you all the time. And I love your excitement and your dedication to those kids. And I know kids have reached out to you as young adults and said, hey, you made a difference in my life. That's what you're there for. That's what you want.
That's exactly what we're there for. That's why we do what we do, is to build those relationships. And when they graduate from high school, technically they're done with our program. But the relationships they have with me aren't done either, because I still get the kids coming back to me and asking me questions and being part of the community and giving back, because we have mentees who are part of this community and we're part of the program and come back to me and say, hey, you were the one who helped me get into this position and I've got kids that were in my program that are volunteer fire department here in New Ulm. So what we do instills some ability that they think they have, it instills their confidence, and it teaches them about being part of the community and being a volunteer.
Right.
And giving back to your community.
Right.
Because that's what they're doing when they're part of that group that's, a volunteer fireman's giving a lot of time.
Giving a lot of time and effort.
And they were part of our program. And I have other kids in the community that are part of lots of things in the community.
And it's important for us to teach our younger kids, the kids that are coming up, what is philanthropy? You know, what is it? How can you be philanthropic? How can I give back to my community? And it's not always money.
No.
Most of the time, it's not actually.
And-
It's
and
the
for-
time and the assistance that you get with the program.
Exactly. And especially for a young one that's starting out their new family, that finances is not what they got, but they can give some time. And so, like I said, we've got some that are doing lots of different things in the community, and I have mentees and that were in the program that are part of doing volunteer work at the county fairs, and I have those that are driving buses, so they're giving that's given, and that they're giving back to the community because they're driving a bus, and
they
that's
need that.
and they need that.
Yeah. So, are there income requirements, or is there any kind of income requirements, eligibility that they have to go through with you guys?
To get into our program, as long as there's a need, something that child needs to be working on, whether that's their self-esteem or that's just the income, so we need some help. I have some learning disability, I have this, I need to help learn about being part of the team, and
I need a friend.
I need a friend.
Yeah.
That's all it is. There is no income. I don't sit and check income. And that to say you can be in or out of the program, it's whether there's a need we can help you work with.
That's awesome. I love it. I love what you do. It's so exciting. Well, thank you for coming. I always look forward when I see that you're up next, either for the radio or for New Cat. I'm going, yay, Carrie, because you're always fun to talk to. I always learn something new, and I appreciate you bringing your little props because they're cuter than cute. And again, for a donation, you can get all 5 of them.
Yep.
So let's do it, and let's see if, as a community, let's support the Coats for Kids. I bet you're probably. I wouldn't be surprised if we get 100 more kids by the end of winter.
Probably. And I'm not going to make it right now financially with that.
No. So you need help.
So we need help.
Yep. And that's okay to ask for the help, and that's part of the reason why we ask our partner agencies to come talk to us so that we can get our stories out there. And I can guarantee, I can vouch for Carrie and the program that all of the money goes to the kids.
Yep.
You know, it stays local, it stays right, in our county, and you make sure that the kids benefit from it, and that's huge.
It's
To
great
have faith. You have faith in that organization that way.
Yep.
Amazing. All right. Well, Carrie, you and I think, could talk for hours.
Probably.
We probably could, but we probably shouldn't. So, again, thank you for coming. I've been looking forward to hearing about your Coats for Kids and how that was going this year. And thank you as a viewer checking in on us with Living United. And if you need anything with the United Way, reach out to us, because our mission and vision are to connect people and resources. And it's not just for kids, it can be senior citizens or other families, and we're just a phone call away. And if I don't answer the phone, please leave a message. Right now I'm solo in the office, and so it gets a little touch and go sometimes for me to get to the phone all the time, but perfect time of the year for you to be thinking about donating to non-for-profits in the Brown County area. All right. Thank you so much, and thank you.